There's the carnage. Started taking apart the door. It's time to put it on permanently. And that's what the inner skin looks like. I got the frame and everything apart, and that looks not too bad till you start getting down there, and that was all soaking wet. You can see it's been wet for a while. Lots of rot here, there, and everywhere. And all that detritus came from here. You can see it's moldy as well, so I'll be replacing that. Just a mess. That explains the rust that's around the edges. So I'm not sure if I can get that off or not. I might have to replace that skin. So now to clean it all up. Have a funeral maybe. Just thought I'd show you the inner side of the outside panel of the door. Isn't it lovely? Many different colors of mold there. Guess I'll wash my hands. Here it is after wire brushing and scraping. Got all the loose mold off of it. So there's the wire brush I used. And there's the scraper I used. So now I will scrub it with a scrub brush, and mild bleach. Get rid of the rest of it. And I got one hole to fix here. Which I might have to get some fiberglass cloth for that. We'll see. And then that piece will be, and then I gotta put on the gel coat on the other side, of course. But as far as the mold goes, the bleach should take care of it. So that's after scraping, scrubbing, some more scraping, and treatment with bleach. And I got almost all of it off. I think all the mold is gone. That little bit there is, might be a bit in there, but it's pretty stuck, so I don't think it's mold. The rest is glue, the insulation on the frame. So let it dry, and I'll work on the other side. Here's a good part of it remade. This is a little bit thinner, but it's got a higher R value, I'm sure, than this does. So use that, and then I will put a piece of aluminum, a sheet of aluminum on the bottom here as a kick panel. And then I got to staple this in. And should be ready to go back together as far as this part is concerned. And I still have the front fiberglass panel to do. And then put it back in the frame and all that kind of stuff. So, nice to get rid of the rot. I had a streak on this door that wouldn't cover. So I primered it. Left it dry to the touch. Put on the final coat, and I got crinkle paint. The problem is dry to the touch is not enough. I've had this problem before. It's just I keep forgetting which primers don't go with which enamels. So Trim Clad and Beauty Tone don't match, but if I let it dry for a couple hours, it would have matched. Would have covered okay. So I've sanded that. Feels pretty good. Try painting it again. See what happens. Problem with painting outside is that bugs are attracted to it. Fortunately, it has set. I did have to chase away a maple bug, so it's no longer with us. Oh, ready for reassembly. Beauty. Pretty bright out here today. Hopefully this camera can adjust. There's the frame, the door that swings. The The rest of the frame is inside the shop. They do a little sanding and painting. Cleaned it. Use mineral spirits to clean off adhesive and a scraper. So I'll just sand where it's marked. Etching primer and some black paint. And hopefully it'll look decent. Next steps. Well, this is the success, if you can call it that, so far. This is all the stuff that can be cleaned off. Finish is not perfect. I'm not real happy with that. Still got to make the kick plate for here. A few little wrinkles through the work. I couldn't get out completely. It's very thin metal, so it stretches. I did put the shim piece of plywood there. I've glued both sides to the outer skin and to the foam. Act as a shim to make it the same thickness as this one. And that's about it. I'm ready for the window. Put the caulking in place and seal it up. And then work on the outer frame. Here's a little helpful hint. I tried getting rid of this paint and goo with a rag like that, and I just ended up smearing it through the glass, which was then difficult to clean out. But if I take a wire brush, dip it in acetone, and then use it wet, then I can wipe that. There's still some acetone on the brush, so there you go. Much better. Some of these holes for retaining the outer door frame were stripped in the old wood. So I've done the old trick of taking slivers of wood and driving them in. Some people use matchsticks, some people use toothpicks. I just shaved off some slivers and drove them in there. Some of them was pretty obvious they were bigger than others. So I got a little bit of drying to do down there. Leaked past the seal the plastic I had on the door. Clean off the bits of tape residue here and there. Clean off the surface. Dry everything. Put the caulking on. Put the door back on, I hope. Keep the water out. Any port in a storm, as they say. That seems to be lined up with the bottom of the door. So now I can put that on there, because I have to put screws through this side right here, which is kind of awkward if it's in there. So let's see how that works. There are some screws I did forget, apparently. Now that I've got it on, see, it's just got one screw in each hinge. Holds it up there anyway. But I have holes here and here and here and here. What else we got? And then these two. These are important because you can see the hinge pins or the door latch pins just hit. So it obviously has to be sucked more that way. So I'm gonna have to loosen all these screws. But it's lunchtime, past lunchtime actually. So I'm just gonna take these pins out for now, so the door can close. So if it rains while I'm having lunch, everything doesn't get soaked. So I'm putting in the seal strip now. See this stuff? That's the way it looks. And that just folds together. It goes into the two grooves on each side in this track. One side and the other side. And this is the tool that makes it so much simpler. This is a tool for putting window screen retaining strip in. And so I line it up. I put the strip in on one side, and then I run this down, working it in as I go along. I tried a screwdriver, I tried a utility knife without the blade, And this just works better. I wish I could show you exactly how I do it, but I'll try here. And there's a screw that's crooked, so that one might not work. But anyway, start tucking it in with tough fingernails and then smooth it out like that. And it's right in place. And it feels pretty solid. So that should work. And then I'll cut the corner at 45 degrees there. Run the next strip across the bottom. It'll be done. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, or even notify, or any of the above, or all of the above. Thank you.